I shouldn't say
and you told me, I said, whoa. Yeah, nobody says that. If you're having a conversation, you want to say that's what they say.
that's totally called him, so I go,
I said, and devolve.
that's who it is.
Hey.
Come on, chick.
Come on, man. I'm ready. No, that's okay. Charlie, you asked for
Okay, we got Hank. Let's see, Reed, Chris Neal, all limited, and Paulson and Reed were full. Let's see, the guys that was limited: Hank, Bowen, Dowdy, and Neal. Oh, that was good.
And full, you said it was Jordan Reed and
Reed, Paulson, and Montgomery. Nice talking to you guys.
Mike, did you get any more clarity on what exactly happened to Hankerson and what the nature of the injury is?
Well, he hurt the top of his foot, did it in his house. I don't know if he tripped on the stairs or did something with the kids, but that was something to do with the family.
Does that rank among the more?
I'm hoping he didn't kick one of his kids. No, that's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah.
That's it.
That was a joke. No.
Yesterday, you didn't really want to talk about Brandon because nothing had been determined yet.
Yeah, it's it is what it is. They looked at it and felt like he deserved a one-game suspension. And we talked about things yesterday relative to the hits and what we're trying to do. But he won't be with us this weekend, and we'll deal with that, and we'll go from there.
Did you feel like he should have been suspended again?
Well, there's a lot of guys that have some fines in the past, and what determines somebody to be suspended, I'm not really sure. With the appeal process. But even if he did come back to play this week, it would have been hard for him to come back, missing a couple of days, going through a game plan, missing practice. And so it's not the ideal system right now, but it is what it is, and we'll deal with it.
Real quick, just to follow up on that. Is it odd to you that even if he can't play in the game, he can't be with the team at the facility? I mean, do you feel like that's a necessary part of the suspension, or?
Well, I think in the perfect world, if somebody was going to go through an appeal process, what you'd like to be able to do is maybe suspend somebody for the next game. It's going to take a few days to look at it and go through the process and go to New York, have your hearing, but to actually not be able to be in the facility for 2 or 3 days, then find out on a Thursday or possibly a Friday that he can play. He would miss all that work, all that preparation. So it'd be hard for him to play anyhow. So anyway, it's something that I'm sure we'll talk about in the off season. But it is tough for any team to lose somebody. But as you go through an appeal, and the earliest you can come back is Thursday, you've already missed a couple of days of preparation. Pardon me? I'm not sure if he went to New York or his agent did or exactly what did happen.
Fred had said that he hadn't had any talks with you about his situation, his inactivity. That was earlier in the week. Have you all talked at all, or does he know what's expected, what he needs to show to get back on the?
Yeah, I talked to Fred last couple of weeks. Sat down with him, and especially when he was inactive and what it takes to play in this league, responsibilities, accountabilities, and why people do play, why they don't.
And what are some of what do you want to see from him? What are some of the things?
I'm not going to go through it. I'm just saying I sat down with Fred and I told him why he wasn't dressing, and if he wanted to dress, what he had to do.
Considering the potency of that Denver offense, does your offense need to play a near perfect game in order to keep those guys off the field and be productive?
Yeah, I think everybody, to beat Denver, Denver's playing very well. moving the ball as good as anybody who's ever moved it, scoring a lot of points. Anytime you're scoring almost 43 points a game, that's pretty impressive. And so, yeah, you got to play great all three phases, not just offense, defense, and special teams. You got to, go into a pretty hostile environment where teams coming off a loss, we're going to get their best shot, and they're going to get ours.
With Bakari jumping back in after a fairly long layoff, I guess, from not playing, are there any confidence issues at play, anything you do this week to make sure he's at full speed from that first snap?
Well, every time that you're practicing, you're competing. So it's not a long layoff because they practice every day, even though they don't have a lot of game situations or he doesn't have a lot of game situations to reflect back on. You're expecting people to be ready, and just like an injury, if somebody gets injured, we expect that person to come in and play at a very high level.
Is he better now than he was a couple weeks ago?
You're hoping. You'll find out on game day.
There were reports that Fred's on the trade block, that you guys are taking calls on him, and I know you won't comment specifically on that, but how do you weigh a reserve who might help you in a pinch later in the year as opposed to maybe gaining a draft pick in the future, just philosophically, this time during the year?
No, I think that's a good point. That's what people do, and then you make a decision that if you think you need a draft choice or you think that this person is going to help you later on in the year, especially with an injury. The thing that I thought Fred has done is he's had an excellent week of practice. Anytime people compete, you feel good about who they are and what they do.
Following up on that, and I was going to ask you about Fred's practice. Was that something that you had talked to him about, and I guess you have seen a change in that since your talk?
Yeah, when I talk to somebody like Fred, we talk about why somebody is dressing or isn't dressing. We talk about accountability, why we think somebody's accountable or gets the ability to start over another person. So what I like to do is if somebody has been starting, they have been part of your football team, and all of a sudden they're inactive, you let them know why and what it takes to get back to be an active player and do the things that he's capable of doing.
So are you pleased in how he's responded, at least in terms of what he's doing out here?
I thought he's had a good practice this week.
We all know that they're going to honor you when you go back there. Have you had a chance? When's the last time you talked with Elway, and have you talked with any of your friends this week at all? Have you made it sure?
I haven't really talked with anybody this week in Denver. I know I'm doing a number of interviews today. I was going to wait to later on today to do it, and probably a few tomorrow for the first time. Last time I talked with John was I talked to him. I played golf with him at the owners' meetings last year, but besides that, we've had limited conversations. Everybody's getting. Pardon me? He did. He did by a lot.
With Von Miller coming back last week, did he look like the old Von Miller to you, and how much does he change that defense?
Well, he's a great player. I mean, everybody knows what type of ability he has, great pass rusher. It always takes a guy a game or two to get back in shape, and I'm sure he's no different, but he looked good when he was out there. Anything else? Okay, thanks.